My mom came here for her post-bachelor's degree. She was a physician assistant. That's how I kind of knew about Wichita State. It was in my list of colleges to apply to. Applied for the scholarship programs, and I went through the DSI and then the Clay Barton Scholarship Program. I went through several virtual tours of my colleges on my list, and as I was watching them, I noticed that the Wichita State person who did the tour was just so thrilled to be there. They just loved showing off the campus. And so I was like, oh, this would be a really nice community to be a part of. And then as I went through the Barton Scholarship competition, I made it through all of the rounds and eventually won the 2021 Barton Scholarship. And so that kind of was the end. I was like, okay, this is where I'm going. And I've not had a single regret about it. I'm Trinity Soderstrom, and I graduated with a Bachelor's of Business Administration in International Business Economics, and then I double majored across colleges in International Studies with a concentration in East Asia and Russia. I grew up as a military brat, so my family moved around a lot. We lived overseas several times, and around age 16, I was like, oh, this would be actually a lot of fun to continue doing after I go to college. So that's where I settled on international business. When I first got to WSU, I didn't think I was going to end up working my first year, but I got a couple months into it, and classes took up a significant portion of time, but the student organizations hadn't quite ramped up yet, so I wasn't super busy with them, and I thought, you know what, I'd like to pick up a part-time job. I'd like a little bit of spending money. So I went to the Shocker Career Accelerator and gave them my resume, and they placed me with an internship here. About 8 months into my internship at the foundation, I got a call from Brian Austin, who was kind of head of Shocker Career Accelerator, and he said, hey Trinity, I have this job that I think you'd be really good for. It's with Airbus. I don't know if you know anything about the company, but I really think that you should apply. You don't meet the qualifications. You don't have the major they're looking for. Don't worry about that. Just apply. Trust me, I think you'll do great. And come to find out that they had reached out to Brian and said, hey, we're looking for 4 students that we'd like to have on the business operations team, 2 or 3 postgrad, but we would really like just 1 undergraduate student that we can have for several years and just give her real world experience. And so Brian saw my resume, had met me a couple times, and he thought, oh, I know who to give you. So I applied, I went through the interview and got the internship. And for the last 3 years of my degree, I worked for Airbus under that internship program. They started me off right away with an actual position. It wasn't just small projects, so let's give the intern this, so they're busy. So they trained me in all these different job responsibilities that I don't know that many interns get. Having that background, I knew I've touched all these real world things. I'll be okay. Even if I don't get the full-time position, there's so much here I can put on my resume. The other nice thing about it was because it was real world activity, there's stuff I was learning in the classroom that I was like, oh, that's what I'm doing in my actual position. There are things that help in that applied learning experience that do make your coursework a little bit easier, or things you learn in that applied learning experience that you can then transfer to the classroom. It's a truly wonderful experience.